Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Jen and I really hope you stick around and subscribe. So I'm going to kind of just jump right into today's video because by the title it's pretty self-explanatory. Opening up, part 1. I'm going to be opening up this first part one of this video. It's going to be a 2-part video because it's very long and it's going to be a very long spiel, and I figured it'd be easier to just do one part and then take a break, collect my thoughts, and then do another part. I just figured it'd be easier, and that way no one has to feel like they're sitting through an insanely long video. So today I'm going to be opening up about life, and more specifically a situation that changed my life, a traumatic upbringing, I guess you could say, that rocked the way I see the world today. And I want to use my story to help other people, so I'm going to be opening up and sharing my story and hoping that if it helps one person out there, then that's going to be great, because it's just that one person I want to help. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Before I go into detail as to the whole story and how it happened, I'm going to first drop a trigger warning. If topics such as mental health, suicide and depression, alcohol, things like that, more like teen subjects, I guess, teen to adult, trigger you, I ask that you please don't watch this video. The last thing I would want to do is trigger anybody. That's the last thing I would want for any of you guys who are watching this, because if anything, I want nothing but the best for you all. So with that being said, I also would like to drop a disclaimer that I don't want to see any negative comments about the situations that I'm going to be talking about in this video, because the point of this video is not to be hateful or to bash anybody or to talk down on somebody, because that's not what I'm here for. The point of this video is to share my story, my truth about something that I went through in my life and how I made it through, basically. That's the main purpose of this video. So I'm just going to ask that everybody please be kind, because that's, that's just the better way to go about it. I don't see any reason to be nasty about the situation. And for the respect of people in this video, I'm not going to be naming any names whatsoever, except for myself, obviously. So it's not going to be Jimmy said this, Bob said that, it's not going to be like that. It's just going to be me sharing my truth. And so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of dive right into it and open up to you guys about what's been on my heart and what's changed my life, basically. So I'm gonna start at age 7 because it's when kind of things began more in my life, I should say. I was in foster care before then, which that's just a whole other video. I don't really want to go into the whole foster care world right now. I'm not in the state of mind to really talk about that yet. But my older brother, we're biological, he and I got adopted on August 13th of 2008, and I was 7 and he was 9.5, so we were older kids when we got adopted. And given that we were older kids, we had a lot of baggage, and that's very common when older kids get adopted. There's going to be baggage of some kind, there's going to be damage of some kind. That's just how it is, and it's sad, but it's true. So we got adopted on that day by this loving family, and the first few years after being adopted were good. I mean, they really were. We felt loved, we felt cared about, we were happy kids for the most part. I mean, things seemed to go smooth sailing, but when I was 11, unfortunately, my issues began to develop and they started coming out more. So because of that, a strained relationship kind of happened with myself and my adoptive parents, and basically emotional abuse did get brought in the mix a little bit. And like I said in the beginning, this video is not to bash or to shame or talk down on anybody. It's not like that. This video isn't, oh, poor me, I'm a victim to abuse, or this and that. That's not my intentions at all behind this video. I just want to drop that there too. But anyway, when I was 11, I became depressed for the first time. my mental health issues began at 11 years old, and that's really common. A lot of children grow into their issues. Some already have them when they're adopted, but in my case, I ended up growing into my issues. So the first few years after being adopted were really, really good years, and I am grateful. Even despite the things that have happened that I'm going to tell you about, I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed because I did get adopted, and I had those really good years to like be happy and enjoy that with them, and that is something I would never trade for anything, and I do not regret at all. So anyway, when I started having all my behavioral issues, some of which were a lot of like suicidal ideations, I would get mad and threaten to kill people, I would lie, make up stories, behavioral issues of an 11, 12-year-old girl, and these issues lasted until I was about 17. Well, actually no, those issues lasted until I was about like 15, and then other ones arose as I kind of was an older teenager that I'll get into. But I started having all of these like behavioral issues, and my parents decided to turn to abuse. They thought the best way to get me better was to punish me, and because of that, it shaped a lot of my mental health issues that I have today. My self-esteem got really low at one point, but there was just certain instances where I was treated so poorly by these people who were supposed to love me, and I grew up from, the age of 11 until 18 believing that I was this bad person because I had problems, and I just want to stop and say that that's not true at all. I was not a bad person. I am not a bad person because I went through things and I had issues because of those things. I think it'd be more concerning if I went through all this trauma and didn't have any issues and didn't care, as opposed to going through trauma and caring and having everything, if that makes any sense. I hope you guys are following me here, because this is kind of all over the place. I tried recording this video 4 times. 4 different times I sat here trying to do this, and it was so incredibly hard for me. I just couldn't find it in myself. But now I'm like sitting here and I'm doing it. I'm doing something I love. I love YouTube. I love talking to you guys. Anyway, that's beside the point about me opening up. But basically, my parents turned to emotional abuse as a way of trying to make me better. They didn't like having a child with mental health issues, and that hurt a lot. It left me feeling really rejected and feeling like I didn't deserve to be loved because I had something wrong with me. And I put wrong in quotes because yes, I have mental health issues, but every single human being is worthy and deserving of love. And that's truly what I believe with my whole heart. But anyways, like I was saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I get nervous when I film these kind of videos because I just never know. I never want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, but then I have to kind of take a step back, realize I'm human, it's okay, we all make mistakes, we all sometimes say things that we like don't mean or whatever. But I guess they viewed me as defective in a way, I guess. They viewed me as someone who ruined their life because I had these issues, because when they adopted children, they wanted the happily ever after. I think they had the Annie in their head, when you adopt a child, it's just this incredibly beautiful thing, which it is. Like, adopting is a very beautiful thing, and I don't ever want to take away from that. But they didn't quite know what they were getting into when they adopted me specifically, and, and this is just my perspective on everything that's happened so far. So I'm not going to say, oh, this is fact, because this is my truth. This is my point of view from what the things I went through. It feels like after they found out I had like mental issues, they began to punish me excessively. It felt like I was punished for breathing wrong, and it made it really hard for me to come to my parents, and they would make it hard for me to come to them, but then they would get upset that I didn't. So I was always very confused growing up in that. It was a very toxic environment all around. And I say all around because we were all toxic. This wasn't just one person, it was all of us. I think there are definitely things I could have done better, and I've learned some really valuable lessons from everything that I went through with them. And I'm sure on their end there's things they could have done better. But we're human, we're imperfect, we make mistakes, we say things wrong, we do things wrong. And trust me, it's taken me a year to forgive them of everything, because I believe disciplining for no reason can become abusive. There was a point in time where my mother told me to cut myself, and I kid you not, that moment broke my heart. Like, I was 15 years old when she said that to me, and I felt at that moment like she wanted me to die, and I never really stopped carrying that feeling with me, and sometimes that affects my moods to this day and my mental stability to this day. There was a lot of trauma, and am I angry? No. This video isn't coming out of a place of anger. It's not coming out of a place of resentment. It's not like that at all, because I believe there are things I did wrong in the relationship that I wish I hadn't, but I also know I can't change the past, and I can't continually dwell and live there anymore. It's time to kind of open a new book and start fresh. So that's what I've been trying to do with my life as of lately. But as like I got older into the adoption, my issues were there. The once happy relationship that I had with my adoptive family did break apart into pieces. After I moved out, things just blew up, and ever since then, it's been this roller coaster. My life has just been this crazy, insane ride. I've had so many unexpected blessings come out of this, and I truly am thankful for everything. And like I said, this video isn't to shame anybody. This video isn't to make anybody feel bad. Because like I said, we are human, we make mistakes, we all fall short sometimes, and that's what I truly believe that they were doing as parents. They were falling short, and they weren't handling things the way they should have handled them, but I've also been in situations where I didn't handle it the best. So I just felt like the right thing to do would be to open up, because lately my mental health has just been rocky, and has been rocky for the last year. And I've contemplated making this video for an entire year. I've seriously thought about doing this video for over a year. But the reason I didn't do it sooner was because I didn't want to make this video when I was still angry. I didn't want to make this video when I carried rage with me, because then it would be, she did this and she did that, and like, that's not what I want. That's not what my channel is for. My channel is for spreading love, and I guess the reason I shared some of this was because I know that there's got to be someone out there who is going through something similar to what I went through, and they think that they're the only one in the world, and they think that they aren't loved, and that they aren't special, and that they aren't beautiful. And this could be in any situation. It doesn't have to be exactly my story where, you know, adoptive parents became abusive. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but in general, there's someone out there who is struggling. And this might actually just be a part 1 video. Sorry, I got sidetracked again, because I feel like there's not really enough for a part 2 video. I thought this video was going to be excessively long, but I don't think that it is going to be. So I'm just going to like throw it all in one spiel, pretty much, because that's my way of doing things. So anyway, I lost my train of thought again. I keep doing that. I keep dissociating, because that's what I do. Part of my mental illness is dissociation, sadly, and it sucks sometimes, because like I really want to stay grounded, and that's like the big thing with me, is I try to stay grounded in everything that I'm doing. And so anyways, I keep saying anyways. I should just put a counter on how many times I say anyways. Y'all count and put it in the comments for me, seriously, because I'm so genuinely curious to know how many times I've said that in this video. So like I was saying, I know that there's somebody out there who feels like they're not loved, and feels like their life means nothing, and there's probably someone right now as we speak on the edge of taking their own life. And mental health is so important to me. It really is. It's a big, big passion of mine to make sure that I'm helping people. And I just want to say that I'm here for you, and please, if you're ever considering doing something stupid, please don't do it. And by stupid, I'm not calling anyone stupid, but if you're thinking about reaching for that bottle of pills, or that razor blade, or anything that's dark and it's gonna hurt yourself, I'm asking you, please don't. Just take a minute, because I know right now in your head you're probably thinking it never gets better. I know I used to think like that. I used to have this mentality of my life was gonna be shit forever, and it turns out it wasn't. My life has gotten better in so many ways. Through my experiences with emotional abuse and mental illness and all of that stuff, I've learned compassion. I've learned that I want to help people. So I genuinely don't regret my past. I don't look back and I think I hate that part of my life and I want to erase it. I used to do that. I used to hate aspects of my life, and I'm now learning to love my life in its entirety. And I just really hope somebody else out there gets to that point where they value their life. I just want to help one person out there, and I will continue to make videos. I want to help that one person because I know there's somebody out there who needs to hear these things, and it just felt like it was the right time to talk and to really open my heart up, because when I talk to YouTube, I feel like I'm talking to a friend. I feel like it's easy for me. I don't have to sit there and think or script out what I'm going to say or anything like that. I just kind of say what comes to my head, and so far I feel like it's worked really, really well for me. But yeah, I just want to serve as someone's reminder that it does get better. My mental health is far from perfect, and I have a video about what mental illnesses I struggle with. I think I'm going to do an updated one because there are some changes since then that I have. So I think I'm going to do an updated video for sure. But anyway, so if you're that person out there and you're suicidal and you feel like you're not loved, I'm just going to ask you to take a few minutes, take a second even, and just pause. Because there really is beauty in your pain, and I feel like you can use your pain and tell a story, and that's what I'm choosing to do with mine, is I am using my pain to tell a story. And honestly, this video wasn't to bash the people who made me feel bad about myself. In fact, I do love those people. And is it the kind of love where I want them in my life? No. But I love them, and we all made mistakes. Like I said, we all fell short, and we all could have done things a little bit differently. I think in this situation, I could have made better choices, and they could have made better choices. But I'm finally at the standpoint of, I guess, acceptance. In my process of trying to deal with everything, I finally accepted that I can't change what happened, but I can move forward from it. And I just want to say that I don't regret any part of my life. There is not a part of my life that I look back on and I hate. I don't think like that. I think that my life is a beautiful gift, and I think that it really is a blessing, and I think if you hold on long enough, you will see that blessing. And sometimes there's going to be bad days. Healing is not linear, okay? Healing is not you wake up and you're perfect. If only it was like that, that'd be nice, but it's not. Realistically speaking, healing is something that is an everyday thing. You have to put effort every single day into your healing, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been helping tremendously. So yeah, I felt like my heart was in a place where I just wanted to talk a little bit about my story. And I'm also going to say that I don't have a relationship with my adoptive parents at all. They despised the idea of having a child with issues like mine, and I do forgive them, and I do love them, and I wish nothing but the best for them. So like I said, please be nice in the comments, because this video is not a hate video by any means. This is just my personal opening up about some of my struggles and my story, in hopes that there's someone out there that I can help influence in a more positive direction. So yeah, I just thought I would come on here and talk a little bit about some of that stuff. Anyways, with all that being said, I really hope someone valued or got something out of something I said in this video. I just want to know that there's one person who benefited from hearing what I have to say, that it does get better. Please hold on. Even if it's one day at a time, even if it's 1 minute at a time, hell, even if it's 1 second at a time, just hold on, because life is going to be so beautiful. Like, it really is. Right now, 2020 is, can't talk right now. 2020 has been a shit year, okay? It really has, but it doesn't have to stay that way, because it's all about your mindset, and it's all about your perspective and the way you choose to look at the world. You can see the world. I could look at my life and I can say, my life is shit. People suck, and my life is crappy, and I hate it, and nobody cares about me, and my life sucks and blah 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 blah. You can go in the spiel of negativity, or you can use your pain to help other people, or use your pain to make something beautiful happen. And that's the path I'm choosing, and it's not always easy, and I don't want to sound like my life is so perfect, because it's really not even close. But slowly I'm learning that some people were meant to come into your story but not be a part of your life. And I'm so thankful for everything that I've experienced so far in my life, because it's seriously, I'm just trying to like explain myself in a way of, keep losing my train of thought. Gosh, Jen, pull yourself together. You got this. Okay. Anyways, there I go again. I guess I'm just going on a spiel because I want someone to know that they're cared about, especially during these times. The world's in a very critical condition in the ICU, I think, and it's just, we got to bring the goodness into it. And so I'm just bringing my story to light, in hopes that someone out there who's feeling that aloneness or feeling like nobody understands struggle, I'm here for you. My Instagram inbox is always open. My Facebook inbox is always open for messages. My email, all that stuff. I encourage people to reach out to me and talk to me because I love interacting with people. And so yeah, that's just a lot of a spiel of my story that I went through and how it's affected me and how I'm feeling. And it actually took 4 tries to do this video because I kept trying to do it perfectly each time. I kept trying to say, this happened and then this happened and then this happened, but in reality, it's not like that, you know. I wanted to be real, and so instead of trying to script in my head what I was like wanting to say, I decided to just turn on the camera and just start talking, and I feel better that I did it this way because I feel more honest. I feel like I'm just genuinely speaking my thoughts as they come into my head with no filter whatsoever. But yeah, just take it one day at a time. Life is good, and even if it seems like it's not, and even if it seems like it's over or something, just know that it really isn't. So yeah, that was just a bit of me opening up because my mental health has been rocky, and I felt like I've just needed to say things and just say things into existence and feel like I'm talking to somebody about how I feel. So I chose to do it on YouTube in case somebody could get help from it. So with that being said, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to open up about some of my story and what I went through, because I believe there is somebody out there that it can help and I can touch their heart in some way, which is what I would absolutely love to do. So the last thing I want to talk about before I end the video is an uploading schedule. I think I'm going to do every Wednesday and every Saturday. Today obviously breaks schedule, but from here on out it's going to be every Wednesday and every Saturday starting next Wednesday. So after this video there's going to be probably a few days where I'm not going to have a video, but next Wednesday I will have a video. So with that being said, I hope you all are going to have messing up again. Come on. I got this. Alright, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, or like I said, whenever it is that you're watching this video, when it reaches you. So with that being said, I just wish you all nothing but love, and just know I'm here for you, and life's not all bad. Bye guys.